Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel and welcome to Saturday morning baseball on the channel. We are still in the middle of the 1985 pennant race in season ticket baseball, and that's what brings us together here for Saturday morning baseball. Today it is September 10th, 1985. We are at Exhibition Stadium in Toronto, Ontario, Canada for an American League East matchup between the Detroit Tigers and the Toronto Blue Jays. I'll say it in English one of these days. The Tigers come into this game with a record of 78 wins and 59 losses. They're currently two and a half games back of the Blue Jays, who are coming in with a record of 81 and 57. So every game now that we're into September very much counts during the pennant race. I'm pulling up historical results. It would help if I go to the right year. But if I remember correctly, when I was pulling score sheets last night, I believe the Blue Jays historically won this game. Hold on. I got to go back to 1985. But I believe the Blue Jays historically won this game 2-1. Bear with me while I pull up the proper score sheet. Here we go. And yep, the Blue Jays did win this game 2-1. But we will see what Season Ticket has to say about that this morning. We are expecting a sellout here at Exhibition Stadium in Toronto. So as the fans continue to file in, what say we jump right down to the field and get into this one. Starting pitcher for the Toronto Blue Jays is Doyle Alexander. 17-10 with a 3.45 ERA. 260 and 2/3 innings pitched, 142 strikeouts, 67 walks, and 28 home runs in 85. While the rest of the Blue Jays get loose behind Alexander, we will take our first look at the Tigers' starting lineup. Leading off, we've got Lou Whitaker at second base, Alan Trammell at shortstop, Kirk Gibson in right field, Lance Parrish is catching, Darrell Evans is at first base, Chet Lemon is in center field, Nelson Simmons is the designated hitter, Alejandro Sanchez is in left field, and Tom Brookins is at third base. And that is the lineup Alexander is charged with keeping in check in today's game. Leading off this one for the Tigers is Lou Whitaker. 279 average, 21 home runs, 73 RBIs in 85. We are using blue, white, and red dice in this one. Blue Jays are the home team. Blue Jays trying to pick up some breathing room on the Tigers, maybe gain some ground on the Yankees. Tigers trying to solidify their position with the Orioles nipping at their heels behind by, actually, the Orioles are only behind by a half game based on winning percentage. So the Tigers are trying to pick up some breathing room on the Orioles. Which team will meet their objective today? Only the dice know, and once Alexander gets the first sign from Witt, the dice will start to tell the story once we go to the first pitch. We will lead off with a 197, and a 197 is going to be a bloop single by Whitaker, as he will get on to lead off for the Tigers, and we are underway here at Exhibition Stadium. The infield will go to, not one out, will go to double play depth, and Alan Trammell will stand in as the batter. 258 average, 13 home runs, 57 RBIs in 85. Whitaker, not much of a threat to do anything on the bases. He will hold. Trammell's got a pretty good bunt here, but he's also got decent power. He's going to swing away. Alexander will get the sign from Witt. He will set, and he will pitch. With a 3-10 and a 3-10. Trammell is going to get frozen by a curveball for strike 3. That is out number 1. Trammell looking over at the umpire and says, "Hey, that curveball is outside." He says, "No, you're outside sanity. You're also out. Go sit." Kirk Gibson is now the batter for the Tigers. 287 average, 29 home runs, 97 RBIs in 85. Alexander will look to Witt for the sign. He will set and he will pitch. That is a 264 against a lefty at 264. Uh-oh. Gibson thinks he's got into one. That is deep to center field. Gibson with a power of a 9. Tigers would love to open the scoring right here. Can they? They will easily open the scores. That's going to get out of here with a boom! That ball is hit high. That ball is hit deep to center field. Mosby going back for that one. He's back to the track, back to the wall, and that ball is gone. Home run, Kirk Gibson. Tigers strike first. 2-0 lead for the Tigers. Stadium groans. Ugh. Lance Parrish is now the batter. 273 average, 28 home runs, 98 RBI in 85. Alexander has got to have instant amnesia from that leadoff, from that first inning bomb. He will get the sign from Witt. He will set, and he will pitch. With a 527. And looking at Witt, that is going to be a base on balls. As Alexander loses control of a slider down in the dirt, that'll be ball 4, and Parrish is now on. Infield back to double play depth, and here's Darrell Evans. 248 average, 40 homers, 94 RBI in 85. Nothing cute from the Tigers. Evans is going to grip it and rip it. Alexander will get the sign from Witt, and he will pitch. With a 112, that'll turn into a 312, and Evans gets frozen by a changeup for strike 3. That is out number 2. As Evans will watch a pitch catch the outside corner for strike 3. Here's Chet Lemon. 265 average, 18 home runs, 65 RBI in 85. Alexander looking into Witt for the sign. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 429 against a righty. A 429 is going to be a swing and a miss by Lemon as he gets fooled by a curveball for strike 3. That will retire the side. All 3 strikeouts in the inning, but the Tigers strike first. 2 runs on 2 hits and a walk. A 2-run home run by Kirk Gibson means the score is now Detroit 2, Toronto coming to bat. Starting pitcher for the Detroit Tigers is their ace, Jack Morris. 16-11 with a 3.33 ERA. 257 innings pitched, 191 strikeouts, 110 walks, 21 home runs in 85. As the rest of the Tigers get loose behind Morris, we will take our first look at the Blue Jays starting lineup. I'll tab back into OBS just to make sure this focuses for me properly. Leading off, we've got Damaso Garcia at second base. Lloyd Mosby's in center field. Rance Mulliniks is at third base. George Bell is in left field. Al Oliver is the designated hitter. Willie Upshaw is at first base. Ernie Witt's catching. Jesse Barfield is in right field. And Tony Fernandez is the shortstop. Morris has got to be feeling mighty good as the Tigers get loose behind him, coming out of the dugout, having a 2-0 lead before he's even thrown a single pitch today. Leading off today for the Blue Jays, we've got Damaso Garcia. 282 average, 8 home runs, 65 RBI in 85. And I will see you guys as usual for the top of the second. Morris will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, here's the windup, and here's the pitch. That is a 593. That's going to be into right field. Going after that is Gibson, and that'll be a nice, easy fly ball for Gibson. He will go back for that one a little bit, but he will track that down to make the catch, and that will be out number 1. Mosby is now the batter. Lloyd Mosby is up. 259 average, 18 home runs, 70 RBIs in 85. Just adjusting my Blue Jays layout over here. Morris will get the sign from Parrish while I take walking lessons. Morris will set, and he will pitch. That is a 640. That'll turn into a 650. And that'll be a ground ball over to third base. Grabbing that one to his left is Brookins. He will fire that over to first. 2 outs in the inning. Rance Mullenix now steps into the batter's box. .295 average, 10 home runs, 57 RBIs in 85. Morris gets the sign from Parrish. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 116, which will turn into a 316, and Mullenix gets frozen by a splitter for strike 3. That will retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Blue Jays here in the bottom of the first. Detroit holding on to a 2-0 lead after 1. Top of the second, we'll already bring the bottom of the Tigers' order up. Nelson Simmons leading off for the Tigers. He's the designated hitter today. .239 average, 10 home runs, 33 RBI, and 85. Alexander gets the sign from Witt. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 367, and a 367 is going to be a fly ball into center field. Bell coming in for that one slightly. He will track it down, though, and he'll make the catch for out number 1. Alejandro Sanchez now in the batter's box from left field. .248 average, 6 home runs, 12 RBIs in 85. 1 out here in the top of the second. Tigers with a 2-0 lead. Alexander gets the sign from Witt, and he will pitch. That is a 311, and that's going to be a swing and a miss as Sanchez misses on a curveball pretty badly. Strike 3, that is out number 2. Tom Brookins, now the batter. .237 average, 7 home runs, 47 RBI, and 85. Alexander looks to Witt for the sign. He will set, and he will pitch. With a 497. Ooh, boy. 497 is going to be a swing and a miss by Brookins on a slider. That will retire the side. 5th strikeout on the day for Alexander. And 1, 2, 3 go the Tigers here in the top of the second. Detroit still holding on to a 2-0 lead as they get set for the bottom of the second. Bottom of the second, we'll bring the middle of the Blue Jays order up. George Bell is the leadoff hitter. .275 average, 28 home runs, 95 RBIs, and 85. Morris will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 167. And a 167 is going to be a leadoff walk as Bell will trot to first. Morris losing control of another splitter for ball 4. And that will be the first base runner for the Blue Jays. The infield will go to double play depth as the batter now is Al Oliver. .251 average, 5 home runs, 23 RBIs, and 85. Bell might have to try to make something happen on the base paths here, and he will. He's actually going to try to get the jump on Morris. Let's see what happens here. Bell with a steal of 3 against Morris's hold of 4. And Bell will get the jump, and they're going to risk it. They're going to risk sending Bell off to second. So Bell is taking off. He's got a speed of 5 against Parrish with an arm of a 6. Is Bell going to slide in safely? It's going to be a close play, but Bell, the throw is right there for Parrish, but Bell just manages to get under it. He is safe at second on the stolen base. But that will take away the double play from the Tigers. There we go. Now that OBS decided to sort all that stupidity out, now Oliver will swing away. Morris will get the sign from Parrish, and he will pitch. That is a 669. That'll turn into a 679. And that's going to be a base hit, and the Blue Jays will get on the board. Bell will score. Oliver will make it to second, 2-1 in favor of the Tigers. Stadium cheers. Yay! On a very heads-up play by George Bell to get over to second base. He picked a good ball to run on. Willie Upshaw is now the batter. 275 average, 15 home runs, 65 RBIs in 85. Upshaw is going to swing away. Morris will get the sign from Parrish, and he will pitch. That is a 680. That'll turn into a 690. And Upshaw is going to get into one. That's going to get into the gap in left field. That's going to be a double. And here come the Blue Jays with something going on with 2 outs. The infield's got to play in. Ernie Witt is now the batter. 245 average, 19 home runs, 64 RBIs in 85. Oliver on third, Upshaw on second. 2-1 Tigers, bottom of the second. Blue Jays are threatening. Morris will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 142. That's going to be a 342, and it's going to be popped up on the infield. Getting under that at third base is going to be Brookins. I believe the infield fly rule would be called here, but regardless, Brookins will make that catch. That will be out number 2. I think with the runner on second and third, the infield fly rule does get called. Somebody who's more well-versed in actual baseball rules than I am. Actually, that's 1 out in the inning. What am I doing? That's 1 out in the inning. I got way too excited. Here's Barfield. Jesse Barfield, now the batter. 289 average, 27 home runs, 84 RBIs in 85. I don't know why I thought there was 1 out in the inning, but the Blue Jays are very much threatening here. Morris pretty badly on a jam. He will get the sign from Parrish, and he will pitch. That will be a 585. That's going to be into center field. Lemon waits for that one. And a 585 is going to be a fly ball to Lemon. He will make the catch. That'll be out number 2. Here comes the throw from Lemon as Oliver is trying to tag up. The throw is going to come to the plate, and it's going to be offline. Oliver will score. Tie game. Upshaw will go to third as the throw comes offline. Stadium cheers. Yay! Oliver is in the 5 spot. Okay. A big sacrifice fly by Barfield to tie the game, and Tony Fernandez is now the batter. 289 average, 2 home runs, 51 RBIs in 85. Upshaw still at third. There are 2 outs in the inning. Tied at 2, bottom of the second. Morris will get the sign from Parrish, and he will pitch. That is a 191, and that's going to be a wild pitch, and the Blue Jays are going to take the lead. Wow. Morris uncorks a wild one. That'll bring Upshaw to the plate, and the Blue Jays now take a 3-2 lead. Stadium cheers. Yay! That'll also be ball 1, and we'll pitch again. This time it's going to be a 348. And the 348 is going to be a ground ball over to second. Whitaker will grab that one. He will throw that over to first, and that will retire the side. 3 runs on 2 hits, a walk, a stolen base, and a wild pitch. So a pretty wild bottom of the second. But it's wild enough for the Blue Jays to take a 3-2 lead after 2. A little bit of excitement on Saturday morning baseball. Never hurt anybody. As Troy Sawyer now joins us here at Exhibition Stadium. Likes the playthrough, don't always comment, which you're more than welcome to lurk, Troy. But you watch each one, thanks for the streams, and thank you for the very kind words on enjoying this playthrough so far. Hopefully we've got a great game for you today on Saturday morning baseball during this replay. Top of the third brings us to the top of the Tigers order. Here's Whitaker. Whitaker has a single, and he scored 1 of Detroit's 2 runs. Alexander looking in at Witt for the sign. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 292 against a lefty. Uh-oh. Whitaker thinks he's got into one. That is deep to right field. Whitaker with a power of a 6. Can he tie the game with one swing of the bat? Whitaker's going to get under that one into right field. Going back for that one is going to be Barfield. He's back to the track, and that's where the ball is going to die as it'll fall into Barfield's glove for out number 1. Trammell is now the batter. Trammell struck out looking his first time up. Alexander pumping his fist at seeing the clutch defense out there as the ball dies out there. He knows he made a bad pitch, but Whitaker just got under it. Alexander will get the sign from Witt, and he will pitch. That is a 3-13, and Trammell is going to swing through the high heat for strike 3. That is out number 2. That is the 6th strikeout today by Alexander. Gibson, now the batter. Gibson had the 2-run home run. That's been the Tigers' only offense so far in this game. Alexander looks into Witt for the sign. Fans at Exhibition Stadium are on their feet. Alexander will set, and he will pitch. That is a 667. And a 667 is going to be bounced right back to Alexander. He will take that, flip that over to Upshaw at first, and that will retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Tigers in the top of the 3rd. Toronto holding on to a 1-run lead as we get set for the bottom of the 3rd. Bottom of the 3rd brings the top of the Blue Jays order up while Morris finishes up his warm-up tosses. Here's Garcia. Garcia's 0 for 1. Morris will get the sign from Parrish. He will set. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. That is a 4-10 against a righty. A 4-10 is going to be a ground ball over to 3rd. Picking that up for the Tigers is Brookins. He will throw that across the diamond. 1 out in the inning. Mosby is now the batter. Mosby grounded out to 3rd his first time up. Morris looking a little bit nervous. 3-2 Blue Jays, bottom of the 3rd, 1 out in the inning. Morris gets the sign from Parrish. He will set. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. That is a 577. That's going to be in the left field. Waiting for that is Sanchez. And it's going to get all the way to the wall past Sanchez. That will be a double. Mosby will find himself safe at 2nd. He'll slide in with a clutch 1-out double. And the batter now is Mullenix. Mullenix today is 0 for 1. He struck out looking his first time up. Mosby, not much of... Ooh, could they try to send him over to 3rd on a steal? No, they're going to let Mullenix swing away. Morris will get the sign from Parrish, and he will pitch. That is a 458 against a righty. A 458 is going to be a base hit into center field. Mosby could try to score. Center fielder is Lemon with a 3-arm. They're gonna wave Mosby home. Here comes the throw to the plate. Mosby with a speed of 4. He's got a beat of 13, so he's challenging the center fielder's arm. Here comes the throw from Lemon. It's on target, and it's on target, but Mosby gets under the tag. He is safe, and the Blue Jays extend their lead to a 4-2 lead. Stadium cheers. Yay! Let's go. That's going to be 1B plus is how we're going to score that. That's for digital diamond purposes. Only 1 out in the inning. Batter now is Bell. Bell has a walk and a stolen base. The Tigers' infield will go to double play depth on that one. And Bell's going to swing away. He's got a lot of power. Morris will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 317, and that's going to be a swing and a miss by Bell. as he'll get in front of a slider for strike 3. That is out number 2. Oliver, now the batter. Oliver is 1 for 1. He drove in a run earlier. Morris will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and he will pitch. Okay, never seen that happen before, but that's a 424 against the righty. 424 is going to be a ground ball over to second. Whitaker will grab that one. He will take that to the bag himself to get Mullenix, and that will retire the side. 1 run on 2 hits, and the Blue Jays extend their lead 4-2 over the Tigers after 3. As DJ John 4444 also joins us here at Exhibition Stadium. Lurkers are always welcome on the channel. I do appreciate you guys stopping by to enjoy these games, but hopefully we've got a good one for you today. It's sure looking like a good one so far. Top of the 4th, we'll bring the middle of the Tigers' order to the plate. Here's Parrish. Parrish has a walk today. Alexander will get the sign from Witt. He will set, here's the windup, and here's the pitch. That is a 452 against a righty. A 452 is going to be a fly ball into right field. Barfield going back for that one. He'll have plenty of room to make that catch, though, and that will be out number 1. Batter now is Evans. Evans today is 0 for 1. He struck out looking. And by the way, before we go too much further, presumably, gentlemen, I will mention that we are going to be picking our next ticker game on the fly. So if you guys want to weigh in on our ticker game, the next featured day is going to be September 14th, 1985. I'm tending to focus on the pennant race as Ben Witz now joins us here at Exhibition Stadium. Probably not too happy with what he's seeing on the scoreboard right now, but we'll see what the Tigers can do about that. As Alexander will get the sign from Witt. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 344, and a 344 is going to be a fly ball into right field, or into center field. Mosby will wait for that one. He'll track it down, make the catch, out number 2 in the inning. Lemon, now the batter. Lemon is 0 for 1. Alexander enjoying a 4-2 lead. Top of the 4th, 2 outs in the inning. Alexander gets the sign from Witt, and he will pitch. That is a 675, and that's going to be a base hit into center field. Lemon is going to be content with the single. He does not want to run the Tigers out of this inning. Especially not with Simmons due at the plate next. Although Simmons is 0 for 1. Still very much capable of tying this game with one swing of his bat. Alexander gets the sign from Witt. He will set, looking over to Lemon, and here's the pitch. That is a 236 against a switch left. 236 is going to get popped up on the infield. Getting under that one at third base is Mullenix. He will make the catch, and that will retire the side. Nothing across except the single for the Tigers as we get set for the bottom of the 4th. No, definitely not, but it is only the 4th. True that, Ben. And once again, welcome in. And I can't really control when YouTube kicks out the notifications. So my apologies if you guys get the notifications late. Not much I can do about that. Bottom of the 4th, we'll bring the second half of the Blue Jays order up. Here's Upshaw. Upshaw has a double today, and he scored on a wild pitch. Morris will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 576. That'll be into left field. Going after that is Sanchez, and that's going to drop behind him. That'll be a double. That'll be another double for Upshaw. And I just got a notification on, oops, I did the D9 thing again. Herpaderp. Okay, now that we've got that figured out. Okay. Next at the batter's box is Witt. Witt today is 0 for 1. Morris has got to settle down here. In fact, Parrish is going to go out and have a quick chat with him on the mound, telling him, hey, settle down. This is September 85. We need wins. We've got the Orioles coming after us. Morris will go get the sign from Parrish, and he will pitch. That is a 352. And a 352 is going to be a ground ball over to second. Whitaker will grab that one. He will throw that over to first for 1 out in the inning. Upshaw will make it to third. One out, the infield's got to play in, and here's Barfield. Barfield today is 0 for 1. Upshaw, let's check the infielder arms. 2-2. 2. Evans is at first base. And 2. Upshaw is going on contact. Morris will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 369. And a 369 is going to be a swing and a miss for Barfield as he misses on a splitter that was headed for the dirt. 2 outs in the inning. Fernandez, now the batter. Fernandez is 0 for 1. Morris will get the sign from Parrish. He's trying to keep this a 2-run game. Morris will set, and he will pitch. That is a 474 against a righty, and a 474. Fernandez is going to get into one. That's going to get all the way to the wall. Nobody will be able to track that down, and that's going to be a triple, and the Blue Jays will extend their lead. Upshaw could almost take a leisurely stroll to the plate on that one. He will score. Fernandez will end up at third, 5-2 in favor of the Blue Jays. Stadium cheers. Yay! We're back to the top of the Tigers order, and here's Garcia. Garcia is 0 for 2. Morris will get the sign from Parrish. He is looking very nervous right now. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 581. That's going to be into center field. Going after that is Lemon, and he will track that down without having to go too far for it. He will make the catch, and that will retire the side. But the Blue Jays strike again. With 1 run on 2 hits, a double and a triple. And the Blue Jays now have a 5-2 lead after 4. Hopefully Ben isn't breaking too much stuff over there as he's watching the Tigers. Just so far take a nosedive as they can't afford to be losing too many games to with the Orioles hot on their heels. Speaking of the top of the 5th, we are looking at the bottom of the Tigers order as here's Sanchez. Sanchez today is 0 for 1. Alexander has mostly been in control of this game. We are going to get some activity in the Tigers bullpen as the Tigers are probably going to want some long relief. Let's see, who do the Tigers want here? They need to stop the bleeding here. The Tigers are going to get... who's next in the rotation for the Tigers? Okay. The Tigers are going to get Randy... are they going to get Randy O'Neal warming up? Who's coming up next? Lefty, lefty, righty. Yeah. The Tigers are going to get Randy O'Neal warming up in the bullpen, as they need to get some and you just got a new computer, don't want to break it too soon. That's totally fair. So we're going to get some activity in the Tigers' bullpen. They want some long relief. Alexander will get the sign from Witt. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 295 against a righty 295. Oh boy. Sanchez thinks he's got into one. That is deep to left field. Sanchez with a power of an 8. The Tigers could desperately use a run here to start cutting into this Blue Jays lead. Can they do it? Just barely, but just barely counts. And it'll count with a boom! That ball is hit high. That ball is hit deep to left field. Going back for that is Bell. He's back to the track, back to the wall. He scales the wall to try to make the catch, and it's going to drop about 2 feet behind him. Home run, Alejandro Sanchez. As the Tigers cut into the Blue Jays lead, 5-3. Stadium groans. Ugh. Brookins, now the batter. Brookins is 0 for 1. Alexander needs to have instant amnesia. They're looking up at the Yankees and looking down at the Tigers. Alexander will get the sign from Witt, and he will pitch. That will be a 350. And a 350 is going to get popped up on the infield to first base. Upshaw in foul territory. He will track that down, make the catch for out number 1. Whitaker, now the batter. Whitaker's 1 for 2 today. 1 out in the top of the 5th, 5-3 Blue Jays. Alexander gets the sign from Witt, and he will pitch. That will be a 394, and a 394 is going to be a fly ball into left field. Bell getting under that one for the Blue Jays. He will track that down, make the catch, 2 outs in the inning. Trammell, now the batter. Trammell has 2 strikeouts today. Alexander will get the sign from Witt. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 143, and a 143 is going to get lifted into right field. Going back for that one is Barfield. He will make the catch, and that will retire the side. 1 run on 1 hit, a solo bomb by Alejandro Sanchez, and the Tigers have cut into the Blue Jays lead. It's now 5-3 as we head for the bottom of the 5th. A little bit more of a high-scoring game than history predicted. And Doyle Alexander would become a Tiger in 1987. Did not know that. As for what I do know, though, Jack Morris is going to come out of the game. He had a bit of a rough outing, getting shelled for 5 runs in 4 innings. I think Ben would probably not be happy if I left Morris in for too much longer. Coming in to pitch for the Tigers today is going to be their long reliever, because the Tigers need to eat up some innings here. So in order to eat up some innings, the Tigers are going to turn to Randy O'Neal. 5-5 with a 3.24 ERA, 94 1/3 innings pitched, 52 strikeouts, 36 walks, 8 homers in 85. He will be charged with the top of the Blue Jays order, starting with Mosby. Mosby's 1 for 2 with a double today. O'Neal will look to Parrish for the sign. 5-3 Blue Jays, bottom of the 5th. O'Neal will set, and he will pitch. And he'll lead off with a 444, and against a righty that's going to get lifted into foul territory on the third base side. Brookins will hunt that one down. He will make the catch, out number 1. One out in the inning, and the batter now is Mullenix. Mullenix today is 1 for 2. O'Neal gets the sign from Parrish. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 335, and a 335 is going to get lifted into left field. Tracking that one down is going to be Sanchez. He will make the catch, and that will be out number 2. Bell is now the batter. Bell is 0 for 1 with a walk and a stolen base, and he scored a run. O'Neill will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 4-11 against a righty. A 4-11 is going to get grounded over to second. It'll be Whitaker tracking that one down, going to his left. He will throw that over to first, and that will retire the side. How badly did the Tigers need a 1-2-3 inning by the Blue Jays, as they keep this one at 5-3 Toronto after 5. If his first and second innings were as poor as the fourth, it's a no-brainer. The first wasn't too bad for Alexander, but he got hammered in the second, giving up 3 runs on 2 hits. Stolen base and a wild pitch, so yeah. I think Morris needed to go toodaloo from today's game. Top of the 6th coming up, Alexander's actually been pitching pretty well despite giving up 3 runs today. Leading off the top of the 6th, unfortunately for Alexander, we've got the owner of 2 of those RBIs. That is Gibson. He's 1 for 2 with the aforementioned 2-run bomb. Alexander now will get the sign from Witt. He will set. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. That is a 166. And a 166 is going to be a base hit for Gibson into right field. Could he try to stretch that into a double? Let's see. Barfield with an arm of a 7. I'm deciding how aggressive the Tigers would want to be. Ben, I'm going to let you make this decision. You've got Gibson with a speed of 8, hitting that into... Where was he hitting that one to? 166. Okay, he's hitting that to right field. Right fielder's Barfield with an arm of a 7. Are you sending Gibson to second base to try to stretch a single into a double? My leaning would be toward no, because there's still a little bit of time left. And okay, Ben is making the decision. He is holding Gibson at first base. So Gibson is at first base. The infield is at double play depth, and here's one of those good hitters coming up. That is Parrish. Parrish today is 0 for 1 with a walk. Gibson is going to stay put, and Parrish is going to grip it and rip it. Parrish, another one capable of tying this game with one swing of his bat. Alexander will get the sign from Witt. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 296. Oh, boy. 296 against a righty. That is going to be deep to left field. Did Ben have fortuitous foresight with Parrish looking to tie this game with one swing of his bat? Parrish has got a power of a 9. And Ben was very much onto something here. That ball is going to get out of here with a boom! That ball is hit high, deep to left field. Bell going back for that one. He's back to the track, back to the wall, and that ball looks to be about 10 rows gone. Home run, Lance Parrish, tie game. We are all even Steven here at 5. Stadium barfs. Bleh. Evans now leading off. Evans now at the plate. Evans is 0 for 2, and now we're going to get some activity in Toronto's bullpen. I just have to decide who they're going to start getting warming up. Let's see. They've got righty switch righty coming up. So the Blue Jays are going to get... the question is, do they want to eat innings, or do they want to turn the lights out? I think they want to turn the lights out here, as they're going to bring... Yeah, I think they need the lights out here, as they're going to get Tom Henke. Not Tom Henke. He wasn't the one I was looking at, or was he? Yeah, actually that's fine. They're going to get Tom Henke warming up for the... They're going to get Tom Henke warming up in the bullpen. And I just got to finish noting Randy O'Neal. Okay. Denoting when the pitchers came in. So Evans now at the plate. Alexander will get the sign from Witt. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 235 against the lefty. That's going to get popped up on the infield to first base. Upshaw slightly into foul territory, but he will hunt that down, and that will be out number 1. And all of a sudden, with Parrish's bat, we are looking at a tie game here in the bottom of the 6th, just in time for Lemon to step to the plate. Lemon today is 1 for 2. Alexander looking into Witt for the sign. He will set, and he will pitch. That is going to be a 151, and a 151 is going to be a fly ball into right field. Barfield goes back for that one. He will track it down, make the catch, slightly on the run, and that is out number 2. Simmons, now the batter. Simmons is 0 for 2. Alexander gets the sign once again from Witt. Toronto bench telling him to get out of the inning. Alexander will set, and he will pitch. That is a 333, and Simmons swings through the high heat for strike 3. That will retire the side. 2 runs, 2 hits, a 2-run blast by Lance Parrish has tied this game at 5 for the Tigers. And yes, Ben is right. Only need 1 good hitter. To borrow a line from 6th grade sex ed, once is enough. Leading off for the Blue Jays, we've got Oliver. Oliver is 1 for 2. O'Neal will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 474. Oliver against a righty. 474 is going to get grounded over to second. Whitaker will grab that one, ranging to his left. He will toss that over to first for out number 1. One out, and the batter now is Upshaw. Upshaw today is 2 for 2 with 2 doubles. O'Neal would love to not have a repeat performance. He will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 576. That's going to be into left field. Sanchez looking for that one. And that's going to drop in front of Sanchez. It'll slip by him, but that'll get to the wall and be a double. It's almost like Upshaw knows where to put the ball today. Let's see if the Tigers have another right fielder. Because I think Ben is probably pulling his hair out looking for the hook for Sanchez. They've got a few people who can play at right field. But I think for now, we're going to sit tight because his bat's actually very good. Coming up to the plate is Witt. Witt today is 0 for 2. Upshaw represents the go-ahead run. Can the Blue Jays get him home? O'Neal will get the sign from Parrish. Blue Jays fans at Exhibition Stadium are loud. They're on their feet. O'Neal will set, and he will pitch. That is a 387. And a 387 is going to be grounded over to second. Whitaker will grab that one. He will flip that over to Evans at first. 2 outs in the inning. Upshaw will make third on the play. Two outs, and Barfield is now the batter. Barfield is 0 for 2. O'Neal trying to get out of this inning. He will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 491 against a righty. A 491 is going to be lifted into center field. Getting under that one for the Tigers is going to be Lemon. He will make the catch, and that will retire the side. Nothing across except for the double for the Blue Jays, and what we're looking at now is a tie game here at Exhibition Stadium after 6. Stopping off to check in with chat. Alexander, who's had a relatively good day, he's going to come out of the game. The Blue Jays are going to go to the bullpen here. And coming in to pitch for the Blue Jays is going to be Tom Henke. 3-3 with a 2.03 ERA, 40 innings pitched, 42 strikeouts, 8 walks, 4 home runs in 85. He will be charged with the bottom of the Tigers' order. Here's Sanchez. Sanchez has a solo bomb. Tigers are relying on the long ball in this game to get their runs. Not a bad strategy with this powerful lineup. Henke will get the sign from Witt. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 286 against the righty. 286. Uh-oh. Sanchez is into another one on Henke's first pitch. Sanchez with the power of an 8. Can he give the Tigers the lead with one swing of the bat? That'll work for the Tigers. It'll work with a boom! That ball is hit high. That ball is hit deep to left field. Bell going back for that one. He's back to the track, back to the wall, and that ball just barely clears, but barely counts here. Home run, Alejandro Sanchez. Tigers take the lead. 6-5 in favor of the Tigers. Stadium barfs. Bleh. Here's Brookins. Brookins is 0 for 2. Tigers now have a 6-5 lead. Apparently, the speech that the Tigers got about the Orioles being hot on their heels must have woke them up. Henke will get the sign from Witt. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 489 against a righty, and that's going to be lifted into center field. Going after that for the Blue Jays is Mosby. He will track that down on the run. 1 out in the inning. Batter now is Whitaker. Whitaker is 1 for 3. Henke gets the sign from Witt. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 565. That'll be over to shortstop. That's Fernandez, 565. It'll be grounded right to him. He will throw that over to first for out number 2. Trammell, now the batter. Trammell is 0 for 3 today. Henke gets the sign from Witt. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 215 against a righty. 215 is going to be a swing and a miss by Trammell on the high heat, and that will retire the side. But the Tigers take the lead on one hit, that being on 1 run, 1 hit, a solo bomb by Alejandro Sanchez, and it is now 6-5 in favor of the Tigers. We are at the 7th inning stretch. Feel free to sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." As usual, I won't torture you guys with my rendition of it. I will, however, take a small break. Pitchers are settling down. Bats are getting going. Starting to look good for the Bengals. Well, aka the Tigers. But yes, I think the Tigers are finally learning how it's supposed to work in the wild. And I think it's pretty much been a home run derby. When did you come in, Ben? I want to say you came in you probably came in around the 4th, I think. And the Tigers did have a 2-run bomb by Kirk Gibson before you came in. So yes, there was a homer earlier today, but it's now turning into a regular home run derby. But coming up, we've still got fast score after. So yeah, the 4th. The only home run was Kirk Gibson. So coming up, we've got fast score after today's game. Our next block will be later this afternoon. I don't know where we're going to be yet because we're going to decide that after the ticker. I'm just looking at our options here, and I'm thinking we're going to move to the National League for one of these games. So anybody who would like to weigh in on the discussion of where our next block game should be for September, for anyone who wants to weigh in on our next block game after Fast Score, our next feature day will be September 14th, 1985. That'll be later this afternoon. So bottom of the 7th, O'Neill is going to start the inning, but the Tigers are going to have somebody warming up in the bullpen. The only question is who. The Blue Jays are looking at switch righty-lefty. Fair amount of lefties, though. So the Tigers are going to get Bill Scherer warming up. But O'Neill will continue to pitch for the Tigers. As here's Fernandez. Fernandez today is 1 for 2 with a triple. 6-5 Tigers, bottom of the 7th. Nobody out. Fernandez leading off. O'Neill gets the sign from Parrish, and he will pitch. That will be a 252 against a switch left. 252 is going to get popped up on the infield. Brookins will find himself in foul territory, but he will track that one down, and that'll be out number 1. One out, and here's Garcia. Garcia today is 0 for 3. O'Neill looking pretty good. He will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 214 against a righty that's going to turn into a 414, and Garcia is going to ground that one over to third. This time Brookins gets that one right near the foul line. He will move that over to first. That is out number 2. Two outs, and here's Mosby. Mosby today is 1 for 3 with a double. O'Neill will get the sign from Parrish. He will set. Here's the kick, and here's the pitch. That is a 229. And against the lefty, a 229 is going to be grounded over to Whitaker. He will take it on the bounce. He'll throw that over to first, and that will retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Blue Jays here in the bottom of the 7th. Tigers take the lead 6-5 after 7. Top of the 8th, and Henke has got an unenviable task. We're also going to get some activity in the Blue Jays bullpen, as starting to get loose for the Blue Jays now. Let's see, mostly righties and switches. The Blue Jays are going to get Steve Davis warming up in the bullpen. He will start to get loose for the Blue Jays. Coming into bat for the Tigers is the heart of their order. Here's Gibson. Gibson is 2 for 3 with a single and a 2-run bomb. 6-5 Tigers, top of the 8th. Henke gets the sign from Witt, and he will pitch. That is a 300 even, and Gibson's going to get frozen by the high heat for strike 3. That is out number 1. Gibson looks at the umpire and says, "Hey, that one was high." The umpire says, "No, you're high. You're also out. Go sit." And here's Parrish. Parrish is 1 for 2 with a walk and a 2-run bomb of his own. Henke gets the sign from Witt. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 557. That's over to third base, Mullenix, and a 557. That'll be a base hit for Parrish into left field. He will hold it first. On a 1-out single by Parrish. The infield will go straight to double play depth, and here's Evans. Evans today is 0 for 3. Nothing cute here by the Tigers. Evans is going to grip it and rip it. Henke will get the sign from Witt. He will set, and he will pitch. That will be a 209 against the lefty. That is going to be a base hit by Evans, and Henke should actually have 2 points of pitcher fatigue on him. I will deal with that in a second once I get Digital Diamond caught up. I suspect the 1B plus should end up with Parrish at second. We'll make sure Digital Diamond's got all that straight. As the batter now, yep. Batter now is Lemon. Lemon today is 1 for 3. Blue Jays bench telling Henke, try to get out of the inning. Davis needs a little bit more time. Henke will get the sign from Witt. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 500. That is going to be a rare play with runners on first and second. First and second, less than 2 outs. Here we go. First and second, less than 2 outs. And that's giving me a 499 on a rare play. 499 says it's going to be a ground ball to short. Shortstop may flip the ball to second base for the automatic out, or try to get the force at third by challenging runner two's speed. Runner two's speed is Parrish. Who did we say that was grounded to? That was grounded to short. Right? Yes. That was grounded to short. So shortstop for the Blue Jays is Fernandez. He's got an arm of a 3. He's going to try to get Parrish at third. Actually, no. I think he's just going to flip that over to second to take the sure out. That'll be 2 outs in the inning. I feel like you don't get it. I feel like even with a speed of 0, you don't get greedy here, especially when you're going into 2 outs. So I think that's the play here. Parrish will make third. Evans will be thrown out. Lemon will make it to first. 2 outs in the inning. I think that's the play here. I think if you're the Blue Jays, you don't get greedy and try to get the lead runner. You'd rather have the sure out than the bases full of kitty cats. Here's Simmons. Simmons is 0 for 3. I suspect Ben would have liked me to try to challenge the speed for Parrish, but like I said, better play I think is to take the sure out. Henke will get the sign from Witt, and he will pitch. That is a 191, and a 191 is going to be a swing and a miss by Simmons, and that will retire the side. No runs on 2 hits. The Tigers holding on to a precarious 6-5 lead as we get set for the bottom of the 8th. Yeah, that probably is the better play. Don't want to end up with the bases loaded with only 1 out. That was kind of my reasoning when I finally settled on everything. The Tigers are not in the mood for funny business today. Not with them chasing the Blue Jays and the Orioles after them. O'Neill is going to come out of the game, coming in to pitch for the Blue Jays, or not for the Blue Jays, coming in to pitch for the Tigers. Is going to be Bill Scherer. 3-2 with a 4.36 ERA, 66 innings pitched, 46 strikeouts, 41 walks, 10 homers in 85. Unfortunately for him, he's got to deal with the heart of the Blue Jays order. And the Tigers, since they're in a no funny business kind of mode, they're going to get Willie Hernandez warming up in the Tiger bullpen. Leading off for the Blue Jays, as I mentioned, is Mullenix. Mullenix today is 1 for 3. Scherer is the 3rd Tigers pitcher today. He will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 183, and we're going to lead off with a wild pitch. Ball 1, we'll do it again. This time it's a 381, and a 381 is going to get grounded right over to first. Evans will pick that one up. He'll wave off Scherer coming over to cover the bag. 1 out in the inning. Bell is now the batter. Bell is 0 for 2 with a walk and a stolen base, and he scored a run. 6-5 Tigers, bottom of the 8th. That can go away. Scherer will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and he will pitch. With a 341, And a 341 is going to be a fly ball into right field. Tracking that one down is Gibson. He will make the catch, and that will be out number 2. Oliver, now the batter. Oliver is 1 for 3 with a single. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th. Tigers lead 6-5. Scherer gets the sign from Parrish, and he will pitch. That is a 455 against a lefty, and that's going to be a swing and a miss by Oliver, and the side is retired. 1, 2, 3 go the Blue Jays here in the bottom of the 8th. Detroit holding on to a 6-5 lead after 8. We've got a great one today, folks. And we're all set for the top of the 9th. Leadoff man for the 9th is Sanchez. Sanchez is 2 for 3 with 2 home runs. That is going to be it for Henke. The Blue Jays are going back to the bullpen once again. Again, this is September baseball. This is not a time for funny business. Both of these teams want this win. You could probably argue that the Tigers need this one more than the Blue Jays, but either way, I think the Blue Jays, actually, warming him up was a terrible idea. Oh well, fast score is a thing. Coming in to pitch for the Blue Jays is going to be Steve Davis. I didn't realize he was the next game starter, but that won't be a problem here. 2-1 with a 3.54 ERA. 28 innings pitched, 22 strikeouts, 13 walks, 5 home runs in 85. He will be the pitcher for the Blue Jays. Davis will get the sign from Witt. He will set, and he will pitch. Hold on just a second. Let me finish making my note. Okay, 621 is going to be popped up on the infield to second base. Getting under that for the Blue Jays is Garcia. He will make the catch, out number 1. Brookins, now the batter. Brookins today is 0 for 3. Davis will get the sign from Witt. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 233 against a righty at 233. Is going to be a ground ball over to second. Once again, we're calling Garcia's name. This time he's ranging to his left to get that one. He'll make the throw over to second. 2 outs in the inning. Two outs, and Whitaker is now the batter. Whitaker is 1 for 4. Davis gets the sign from Witt. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 587. That could be problematic because that's center fielder Mosby. That's going to get to the wall past Mosby, and Whitaker will be safe at second with a double. Oop. Get into the business card holder there. Trammell, now the batter. Detroit looking for some huge insurance. Trammell may not be the guy to provide it as he's 0 for 4 today. Whitaker edging off of second. Davis will get the sign from Witt, and he will pitch. That is a 329, and that's going to be a fly ball into right field. Barfield will track that down on the run. He will make the catch, and that will retire the side. Nothing across except for the double for the Tigers, still holding on to a 6-5 lead. But will we see some 9th inning magic? I know Ben Witz is hoping for all of the 9th inning magic in this one. Our first order of business for the Tigers is they're not in the mood for funny business today. Scherer is going to come out of the game. Coming in to pitch for the Tigers is going to be their closer, as the Tigers, as I mentioned, are not looking for any funny business. Here comes the closer. If I can ever make this cooperate. Willie Hernandez. I suspect this is senior smoke. Again, Ben, you got to remember, 85 season, not exactly my strong suit. 8-10 with 31 saves, 2.70 ERA, 106 and 2/3 innings pitched, 76 strikeouts, 14 walks, 13 homers in 85. We'll see if he's got that smoke. Here's somebody who's had the smoke today. That's Upshaw. He's 3 for 3 with 3 doubles and scored on a wild pitch. And he scored in all but one of his plate appearances. 6-5 Tigers, bottom of the ninth. Hernandez trying to close out this game. Fans at Exhibition Stadium are on their feet and loud. Hernandez gets the sign from Parrish. He will set and he will pitch. With a 160. And 160 is going to freeze Upshaw with the changeup for strike 3. That is out number 1. Or Upshaw, I should say, gets frozen. 1 out in the inning, and the batter now is Witt. Witt today is 0 for 3. Hernandez looking in at Parrish for the sign. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 461 against the lefty. 461 is going to be a fly ball into center field. Lemon tracks that one down. He will make the catch, and that is out number 2. And the last chance for the Blue Jays comes down to Jesse Barfield. Barfield today is 0 for 3. Hernandez looking to get this game done. Fans here at Exhibition Stadium are loud, hoping the Blue Jays can extend it. Hernandez gets the sign from Parrish. He will set. Here's the kick, and here comes the pitch. We're going to re-roll that red die. That is a 3-10, and Barfield gets frozen by a curveball for strike 3. That's your game. Tigers finally remember how biology works, and they defeat the Toronto Blue Jays by a final score of 6-5. Stadium groans. Ugh. Final line score coming up. Ben looks to be very happy with this one. As the Tigers go to 3-1 on the board, Toronto is at 2-1. For the Tigers, 6 runs on 10 hits and no errors. For the Blue Jays, 5 runs on 7 hits and no errors. Winning pitcher today is Randy O'Neal. He will pick up the win. Tom Henke will take the loss. Willie Hernandez will get the save. And Bill Scherer will end up with the hold. But of course, you guys know we are not done yet because we still have to ask our friends at Fast Score how the rest of the majors fared. So bear with me while I do a little bit of cleanup, and then we will get to that. Well, we'll never know what'll happen there now, would we, Ben? But if you'd never come by, it would have been a one-way route for Toronto. We have no way of knowing what would have happened now. And now let's take a look at the rest of the major leagues. You are not wrong on that in the slightest. That look around the major leagues is what brings us to Fast Score Baseball. So the Tigers pick up a gigantic win in the American League East as they managed to defeat the Toronto Blue Jays by a final score of 6-5. Before we check fast score, let me see who's on Doomsday Watch for elimination from the playoffs. Let's see, we will be watching most of the American League West, as the Athletics and Twins both can only lose two more games would eliminate them both. The Mariners face a Doomsday number of 3. The Braves are at a Doomsday Watch of 1. So their next loss, the Braves are ineligible for the playoffs. But let's see what we get up to in this one. First up, we've got the Orioles and the Red Sox with a doubleheader. Game 1. Orioles, 15-33, that is 4. Red Sox, 14-22, that is 3. Baltimore takes Game 1. Game 2. Orioles, 11-46, that is 5. Red Sox, 13-22, that is 3. And Baltimore gets both of those wins, as the Red Sox are probably going to start fading here at that rate. Royals and the Angels. Royals, 10-42, that is 4. Angels, 4-33, that is 3. And Kansas City continues to make up ground on California in the American League West. Twins and the White Sox. Twins, 8-13, that is 1. White Sox, 6-34, that is 3. And that's a win for the White Sox, sending the Twins closer to Doomsday. Yankees and the Brewers. Yankees, 17-63, that is 9. Brewers, 11-63, that is 8. And not too many teams are going to outslug the Yankees. The Brewers today will not be one of them. Rangers and the Athletics. Rangers, 9-52, that is 5. Athletics, 8-15, that is 1. And the Athletics are headed closer to Doomsday as the Rangers pick up that win. Indians and the Mariners. Indians, 17-22, that is 3. Mariners, 12-11, that is 0. And the Mariners continue their trek to Doomsday as the Indians win. For those of you who are wondering what I'm talking about with Doomsday, that is the elimination from the playoff race. That can happen when a team can no longer finish with a winning record. Speaking of Doomsday, Dodgers and the Braves have a doubleheader. Braves lose either of these games, they face Doomsday. Here's Game 1. Dodgers, 18-25, that is 4. Braves, 9-21, that is 2. That's a win for the Dodgers, and the Atlanta Braves have officially been eliminated from the playoff picture. Game 2. Dodgers, 20-16, that is 3. Braves, 13-61, that is 7. And that's a win for the Braves to at least salvage a split in the Twin Bill. Padres and the Reds. Padres, 8-66, that is 9. Reds, 7-23, that is 2. That is a win for the Padres. Giants and the Astros. Houston trying to keep pace in the NL West. Giants, 6-53, that is 5. Astros, 8-42, that is 4. And that's not going to help the Astros. That'll be a win for the Giants. Cardinals and the Mets. A potential NLDS preview if the Mets survive the wildcard gauntlet. Cardinals, 9-33, that is 3. Mets, 6-22, that is 2. And that is a win for the Redbirds. Expos and the Phillies. Expos, 8-66, that is 9. Phillies, 26-45, that is 8. And in a game you could argue they had to have, Montreal wins a shootout. And Philip Anderson now joins us here at Fast Score. And once I finish up with the Expos and the Phillies, he is looking at Mets and Cardinals as the next game. And actually, Philip, we're going to be looking at September 14th as the next feature block day. That would be the Mets and the Expos, which actually wouldn't be a terrible game at all to do either, even with Montreal fading and New York surging. So September 14th is going to be our next feature block day. Coming back to Fast Score, next up we've got the Cubs and the Pirates. Cubs, 324, that is 2. Pirates, 1552, that is 6. And the Pirates get to hang the Jolly Roger. On to September 11th. Next game should be in the NL. That's kind of what I'm leaning toward as well, Ben. I'm definitely looking to do it. I'm going to try to alternate between AL and NL on the block unless something makes sense to go 2 in a row. But let's see what happens with the rest of Fast Score. Orioles and the Red Sox. Orioles, 1355, that is 7. Red Sox, 1651, that is 6. That is a win for the Orioles. Royals and the Angels are both 8s. Royals roll a 33, that is 3. Angels roll a 34, that is also 3. They will go to extras. Royals roll a 6, plus 2 is 8. Angels roll a 6, plus 2 is also 8. By virtue of home team, that'll be a win for the Angels in extras. Twins and the White Sox. Twins, 845, that is 5. White Sox, 1312, that is 1. And that's a win for the Twins as they are trying desperately to stave off doomsday, but I'm pretty sure it's already here. Yankees and the Brewers. Yankees, 1442, that is 5. Brewers, 731, that is 3. And with the Yankees, the way they're winning, I do not envy whoever survives the AL wildcard game. Rangers and the Athletics. Rangers, 922, that is 2. Athletics, 1531, that is 4. And the Athletics will double up the Rangers. Indians and the Mariners. Indians, 755, that is 5. Mariners, 1641, that is also 5. They will go to extras. Indians roll a 3, minus 3 is 0. Seattle rolls a 2, plus 2 is 4. The Mariners will take that game in extras. Tigers and the Blue Jays. Toronto looking for a little revenge. But I doubt they'll get it. Tigers, 942, that is 4. Blue Jays, 1035, that is also 4. Well, I may have spoken too soon because they are going to extras. Tigers roll a 5, minus 1 is 4. Blue Jays roll a 3, plus 0, and it looks like I was originally right, as the Tigers will take that one in extras. A chance for the Tigers to make up some ground in the AL East. Dodgers and the Braves. Dodgers, 1163, that is 8. Braves, 331, that is 2. And the Dodgers beat up on the Braves. Padres and the Reds. Padres, 625, that is 2. Reds, 751, that is 5. And that game belongs to the Reds. Giants and the Astros. Giants, 556, that is 5. Astros, 1153, that is 6. And the Astros pick up a much-needed win in the NL West. Giants, oh, I didn't realize they had a doubleheader, so that was game 1. Game 2. Giants, 431, that is 2. Astros, 1342, that is 5. And the Astros will pick up both games in that twin bill. And they needed both of those wins. Cardinals and the Mets. Cardinals, -113, that is 0. Mets, 0-24, that is 1. And in a game nobody apparently wants to win, the Mets will get it. Expos and the Phillies. Expos, 615, that is 1. Phillies, 861, that is 6. And the Phillies get that win. Cubs and the Pirates. Cubs, 1423, that is 3. Pirates, 1636, that is 5. And once again, the Pirates hang the Jolly Roger. September 12th, Orioles and the Red Sox. Orioles, 1426, that is 4. Red Sox, 963, that is 7. And that's a win for the Red Sox. Rangers and the Angels. Rangers, 451, that is 4. Angels, 1321, that is 3. And that's a win for the Rangers. Twins and the White Sox. Twins, 963, that is 7. White Sox, 1226, that is 3. And the Twins will beat up on the White Sox. Blue Jays and the Yankees are both 6s. This could be an ALCS preview if everything goes just right. Blue Jays roll a 64, that is 7. Yankees roll a 45, that is 4. And the Blue Jays take that much-needed win. Dodgers and the Braves. Dodgers, 1256, that is 7. Braves, 532, that is 3. And that is a win for the Dodgers. Padres and the Reds. Padres, 946, that is 5. Reds, 615, that is 1. That is a win for the Padres. Giants and the Astros. Giants, 651, that is 4. Astros, 1041, that is also 4. They will once again go to extras. Giants roll a 5, -1 is 4. Astros roll a 3, +0 is 3. That'll be a win for the Giants in extras. Cardinals and the Mets. Cardinals, 1032, that is 3. Mets, 844, that is 4. The Mets pick up another big win in the NL East. Expos and the Phillies are both 6s. The Expos roll a 14, that is 1. Phillies roll a 15, that is also 1. They will go to extras. Expos roll a 5, +1 is 6. Phillies roll a 2, -3 is -1. And the Expos badly needed that game. It'll take them extras, but they'll get it. Cubs and the Pirates. Cubs, 1361, that is 7. Pirates, 353, that is 4. And the Baby Bears finally maul the Buccaneers. September 13th, Rangers and the Angels. Rangers, 365, that is 7. Angels, 643, that is 4. The Rangers get that win. Twins and the Indians have a doubleheader. Actually, we've got a lot of doubleheaders here. Game 1. Twins, 1962, that is 9. Indians, 1665, that is 10. And the first game is a shootout that Cleveland wins. Game 2. Twins, 2026, that is 5. Indians, 1325, that is 3. And in a much tamer game, the Twins will win and salvage a split in that twin bill. Orioles and the Tigers. Orioles, 2045, that is 7. Tigers, 1332, that is 4. And that's a win for the Brown Birds. Hold on. Something didn't look right. Tigers, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I was making sure they only played 3 times in this block. Red Sox and the Brewers. Red Sox, 1554, that is 7. Brewers, 1161, that is 7. That's also 7. They will go to extras. Red Sox were terrible in the clutch. That's a 4. -4 is 0. Brewers roll a 2. +1 is 3. The Beer Makers will take that win in extras. Blue Jays and the Yankees. Blue Jays, 945, that is 5. Yankees, 1054, that is 6. And the Yankees will take that win. Royals and the Athletics. Royals, 623, that is 2. Athletics, 1164, that is 8. And that's a win for Oakland. White Sox and the Mariners. White Sox, 1455, that is 7. Mariners, 724, that is 2. And the White Sox will put a hurting on the Mariners, as the Mariners are probably caroming toward doomsday. Giants and the Braves. Giants, 1335, that is 4. Braves, 1062, that is 7. And that's a win for the Braves. Cardinals and the Cubs. Cardinals, 1116, that is 2. Cubs, 911 is 0. And the Redbirds will tame the Baby Bears. Dodgers and the Reds have a doubleheader. Game 1. Dodgers, 725, that is 2. Reds, 363, that is 6. And Game 1 belongs to the Reds. Game 2. Dodgers, 766, that is 9. Reds, 2141, that is 6. The Dodgers will win a shootout and salvage a split in the twin bill. Padres and the Astros. Padres, 646, that is 4. Astros, 1122, that is 3. That is a win for the Padres. Mets and the Expos have a very big doubleheader. This could almost be doomed to Montreal's playoff chances, but we'll find out about that. Game 1, they're both 7s. Mets will roll they're both 7s, we said? Yes. Mets will win a 23, that is 2. Expos roll a 45, that is 4. The Expos will take game 1. Game 2. Mets, 1135, that is 4. Expos, 651, that is also 4. They will go to extras. Mets roll a 3, plus 0 is 3. Expos roll a 2, plus 1 is 3. By virtue of being the home team, the Expos will take that one, and they'll get both games in that twin bill. Last up, we've got the Phillies and the Pirates. If I can ever get a hold of the dice, we do. Phillies, 10-15, that is 2. Pirates, 7-14, that is 1. That is a win for the Phillies. And that will conclude Block 39 of my 1985 season replay. I'm going to enter the standings. I'm going to enter the ticker standings into my ticker track, into my spreadsheet. Then we're going to look at September 14th and pick our next feature game. So bear with me while I get these entered in. Man, did the Expos need that good performance in the ticker. The Mets wasted a good opportunity to make up some ground in the NL East. Dodgers should pick up some breathing room on the Astros as well. But I think the Tigers were probably the biggest beneficiary here with a huge road win, and I was going to say Baltimore stumbling a bit, but Baltimore actually didn't stumble very much in this block. Okay, so now that I've got the ticker results entered, let's see how everything shakes out in the divisional races. So the Orioles actually moved ahead of the Tigers by a half game. So right now the Orioles would be the right now would be the 4 seed, I think. Yes, they would be the 4 seed. Let's see. The Dodgers now have some breathing room on the Astros in the NL West. Cardinals are up 7.5 on the Mets. The Expos are starting to get a little bit further over 500. So now let's turn our attention back to Fast Score with looking at September 14th, 1985. Okay, so here's Fast Score. Hopefully, you can see it. Rangers and the Angels means nothing. Indians and the Twins and the Indians, nah. Orioles and the Tigers could be interesting, but I don't like putting the same team on the block two block games in a row, and I wanted to move to the NL anyway. Red Sox and the Brewers, nah. Blue Jays and the Yankees, probably not. Royals and the Athletics, no. White Sox and the Mariners, no. Giants and the Braves, yeah, right. Cardinals and the Cubs, no. Dodgers and the Reds, maybe. Padres and the Astros, possibly. Mets and the Expos, that could be a good one. Phillies and the Pirates. So the 2 games I'm looking at, thought I brought a pencil in here with me. I did not, apparently. So let me go grab a pencil so I can mark off these games. Actually, what am I doing? The board I use comes with pencils. Let's see. So I'm looking at the Dodgers and the Reds, and the Mets and the Expos. And Ben, once we established earlier that the Mets and the Expos are actually playing in this block, and I think that's probably the game I'm going to go with, especially with those two teams. Let's see, what are those two teams separated by? The Mets are up by 3.5 on the Expos, but with the Expos still somewhat fighting for their playoff lives, I think that's the game we're going to go with, which will bring us over to, I believe that's Olympic Stadium. Let me double check that. I know I've got my 85 binders in here. Here we are. So later this afternoon, probably after, well, I don't know if it's going to be after Mystical Munchies or when I'm going to do this, we will be at Olympic Stadium in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, as we will be visiting, as we'll have the New York Mets playing against the Montreal Expos. Sid Fernandez will be starting for the Mets, and David Palmer will be going for the Expos. Yes, that's Stade Olympique. And yes, you can also say that my French is absolutely horrendous. Later this afternoon as well, we're going to have Mystical Munchies out of the Recipes from the World of Tolkien cookbook as we make the entree, fish and chips. Tomorrow morning, we'll have another block of my 1985 season ticket baseball replay. And if you guys would like to get started on researching that, the next feature day for Sunday morning is going to be September 18th, 1985. And looking here, ooh, I've got a few games that I could mark off. But I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself there. Wednesday next week, we'll be playing Game 3 on my War Room list as we play the Hunters from Consim Press and GMT Games. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care, everyone. The Detroit Tigers win an impromptu home run derby in Toronto as they defeat the Toronto Blue Jays by a final score of 6-5. Once again, take care.